Okay, folks, good morning. It's April 18, 2020, and I was looking at still investigating satellite weapons and electronic harassment. I've been investigating satellite weapons and electronic harassment for over 26 years now. I've come together with organizations such as PAX International, WWW, Freedom from COVID, Harassment and Surveillance. There's another organization out there that's just developed, targetedjustice.com. There's www.icaact.org. These people have gathered some information and evidence, and in the meeting of the minds, we have gathered information that this satellite weapon that we're seeing above us here, these weapons that we're using above us, is affecting how we live, and it manipulates everything from our anatomy, our breathing, our lungs, our heart, our eyes, our neurological maneuvers of our body. It impairs those organs and those functions of our body, and we have not yet discovered that. But like I said, there's evidence out there. Dr. Robert Duncan was the first one to broadcast this information to society. He's on YouTube with Jesse Ventura, the governor, the ex-Navy SEAL. He says that Americans are being attacked. You can look that on YouTube. Dr. John Hall from San Antonio. Dr. Robert Duncan wrote a book called Taming a Demon, and he wrote a book called Project Soul Catcher. Dr. John Hall wrote a book called A New Breed of Satellite Terrorism, and his new book, Guinea Pig. I mean, these are expert witnesses, folks. These aren't idiots. These people know the facts, and the facts is that these weapons above us are affecting our lives and are affecting this coronavirus scare. And doctors are struggling to find diagnosis of why this brings down the saturation, percentage in the lungs and the blood. Well, I mean, if you look at the weapon itself, if it can short circuit a battery, it can short circuit your heart, it can cause fires, it can flip vehicles. It's gonna alter these machines in our hospitals. It's gonna lower the battery to get a false reading, which means basically they know that you're a sick patient. They're going to follow you from your house in the ambulance to the hospital. When you get into the hospital, that satellite is going to penetrate that hospital barrier into that machine that the doctor is reading, and will short circuit that machine and drop the percentage so low that you wrongfully diagnose and you kill the patient. These weapons are that lethal, folks. Okay? And I cannot stress it. If these weapons can short circuit a battery, they can cause a heart attack, they can cause lung asphyxiation, they can choke you, they can torture you and kill you. They will certainly cause discrepancies in hospitals. Okay, and I cannot stress it enough. I've given you the evidence. www.targetedjustice.com. I've been investigating this for over 26 years now. And we know that these weapons will alter the machine battery, the electrical components, short circuit electrical components, where you get a false reading. I mean, I've looked at a pulse oximeter, and every day I've watched it diminish because they have the potential to attack the battery inside that pulse machine, short circuiting the battery, thus eliminating the reading and the power. Okay, so we almost have to stick back with the old theory of medicine, which is manually taking blood pressures, folks. It's that critical, and we're living in that kind of monster above us. I mean, it is attacking us at every level, and more so in the medical field right now. I was listening to a video from one of the New York doctors, Dr. Slidell, on YouTube, and he's saying that people are coming in with, they're coming in, they're being checked out at the lowest percentage rate of a pulse ox. Well, that's what's happening, folks. The machine is diminishing the power in that machine, where you're getting a lower reading, a lower amperage in that reading, and it's going to lower the results, folks. Okay? So you have to stay focused and have to check out and use other measures besides your electrical equipment, or you're going to wrongfully diagnose and kill somebody. That's the bottom line. We know that these machines are calibrated, but that's not the point. The point is that they will make a machine look not calibrated by attacking the electrical components, the electrical power, the circuit board of that machine, causing lower grades in machine to lower. Okay? Uh, and if you want information, you want sources of information, I'm giving you, man. www.targetedjustice.com. Dr. Robert Duncan, Dr. John Hall, PAX International, ICAAC.org, Freedom from COVID Harassment and Surveillance. These companies existed way back in 2000, and they have gathered doctors, psychologists, lawyers, former FBI, former CIA operatives who are giving them information on how this machine works, folks. We can't stress it. We are under attack. And the problem is that if you remember back in 2001, the Honorable Congressman Dennis Kucinich from Ohio tried to pass a Space Preservation Act to ban space and exotic weapons. Okay? He tried to pass that, folks. The House did not approve it. And it's because they didn't approve it because they're invested in this terrorism, folks. L3 Harris, Raytheon, these companies built these weapons. They should be coming front and center in front of Congress and testifying what these weapons do. It's confusing the hell out of doctors. It's breaking the system. Doctors have to pay big money for insurance to operate or take care of a patient. And if they wrongfully diagnose it, they're going to be liable. So if these weapons can break their machines, can alter short circuit electrical circuits, they're going to give you false readings, folks. That's just the bottom line. We have to stick to manual procedures, and that's the thing I'm doing here. I use a manual blood pressure cuff to make sure that my computer is accurate, and it's pretty much accurate. About three or four off, 3 to 5 off, but that's pretty accurate. But you have to continue on the bit because it will give you a false reading. These machines are deadly. They are called electromagnetic pulse machine. They're called electronic harassment. They're called direct energy weapons. They're called HAARP, HAARP. These weapons are disaster. And if you don't believe me, look at Richard Lighthouse's website at www.rlighthouse.com. And he will explain to you what is going on, folks. I've been researching this for over 26 years now, folks, and I've gathered information. I've talked to the experts. I've talked to CIA operatives, and they are telling me, what they're telling me, folks, is that the federal government agencies are going to continue to cause disasters until we accept the implantation of tracking you, okay? They're going to cause disasters until Americans accept microchipping, which is the crisis right now with Mr. Bill Gates. He is trying to develop an implant tracking device so he can track Americans. You should be haunting him and questioning him what an animal he is of creating the mark of a devil. That's a disaster, folks. Okay? Let him create the microchip. But I'll tell you what, Americans are smart. We have MRI machines, we have radiologists that will detect that, and they will sue the hell out of Bill Gates if he tries to implant people illegal. Thank you.